So a couple of times we talked about value-based selling and MEDDIC. So we'll get into that, right? So these are frameworks, right? So let's right now you just talked about sales process, right? So what is your sales process? Starting with, let's say, a qualified leads comes to you. I'm assuming that a qualified lead comes to you and then you take it up from there, right? And you have pre-sale. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what is your process when this qualified lead comes to you? Like, how do you follow this? Yeah.
Yeah, so firstly, you touch base with the customer, right? You try to understand what is it they're looking for. So I think in the sales process, I think this is the most important step, because this is the step that actually makes or breaks your possibility of closing a deal successfully or not, right?
Okay.
Understanding what the customer wants, why he wants what he wants, and what is it costing him today? Costing him time? Is it costing him money? Is it costing him resources? Is it delaying his plan to do something, right? If you're able to, so that is the whole MEDDIC process, right? The first step of MEDDIC is to identify the metric that can be quantified, right? That will help you understand the gravity of the situation or the issue that the customer is facing, which you need to solve, right? Only if you know that, let's say, for example, right, if a current downtime in my application is impacting 400 users, and each user has, let's say, if I'm an e-commerce site and each user has, say, $100 worth of cart, right? I'm losing quite a lot of money with downtime, right? Now, if this happens once, that's okay, but if it happens multiple times, then I need to find a solution,
right,
to that problem. Right? And then immediately I need to figure out that how much am I willing to pay to fix that problem. Is it more than the problem itself, right? And sometimes any issue will have two outputs to it. One would be a tangible output, which could be measured in dollar value. The other is intangible output, right? Which could be measured in terms of an experience, a customer being impacted in a certain way, right? Your value in the system, right? Or how a customer perceives the product or the solution that you're trying to sell. Let's say Flipkart, for example. If Flipkart goes down for half an hour today, there's a very good possibility that I will uninstall Flipkart and move into Amazon and never install Flipkart ever again, because Amazon will give me everything that I need. Right? Now, this when you actually look at me uninstalling Flipkart from my phone, from a tangible dollar value perspective, it might not cost much. But as an intangible value, you've lost one customer.
Right.
Right? Because of a bad experience. Right? And that could not mean anything to Flipkart today. But if there are 5 million cases like me, and then suddenly it gets Flipkart wondering, saying, hey, you know what? Each time I need to fix a few things. Right? And also the brand image itself falls so low, because if I'm a very frustrated customer, I'm definitely going to put a review somewhere about my experience.
Right.
And how much is that review going to hurt? Maybe one review like of mine might not. But if there are 500,000 reviews that speak the same language I'm speaking, is really going to hurt the company's image. Right. And when you look into downloading Flipkart and you see 2.5 stars versus 4 stars on Amazon, we all know where you're going to head. Right. So that becomes one of the factors for a company to spend that money or to create that budget to solve the problem that it's causing, right? Then obviously, once you are engaged with the customer, once you've understood that, hey, this is the customer's problem, this is the pain point, and this is the money that it's costing them, and from a tangible revenue perspective and intangible impact, it could be far greater, right? Then you need to figure out, do they have the budget to solve this issue? Right? Are they aware that this is how big the issue is for them?
Right.
If they are not aware, as a sales guy, it's your responsibility to let them know, to give them perspective that, hey, you know what? You're looking only at dollar value, but maybe you should also look at the brand. You should also look at the customers you're losing.
Right.
You should also look into the other platforms that customers are going to because of your service. Right? You have to give them that visibility. And this is where you create an opportunity for yourself as a good sales guy, right? Because now you have made the customer aware of something that he might have not even thought of, right? And then you need to figure out, like, hey, you know what? Fair enough. I've told them what the problem statement is. This is what it is going to cost them, right? The customer is willing to pay for it, right? Now the question is, how do I go about the decision criteria, right? Do I know what is customers' decision criteria in order to choose a solution? Maybe I've made them aware of all of these things. I also need to know that if they decide to buy me, they're also going to talk to 5 other competition. That's how every customer works today.
Correct.
So when they start talking to 5 other competitors, how are they going to land on the decision criteria, right, for the right solution? And that is where, again, I'm just skipping a few things about how Medic works, but that is where the concept of champion comes into play. Right? Because if you've done your job well, you will identify a champion within your customer base who is going to fight the battle for you internally. As a sales process, you should be the best judge of choosing or identifying who the champion can be for you. Now, a champion could be anybody in the decision cycle or somebody outside of it as well. Right. So let's say, for example, right, you want to buy a car, right? What is the first thing you do?
Buy a car, right?
Yeah.
What's the first thing that I do?
Yeah. Firstly, you figure out what your budget is, right? How much are you going to pay? You figure out what sort of a car you want as well. Do you want a sports car? Do you want a SUV? Do you want a hatchback or whatever? Right. But one of the key things that you do is that you talk to somebody who has that visibility about cars, who understands the entire automobile sector really well, and who can help you point out on what the right car would be for you. Right. And it could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be a father, it doesn't matter. Right? It could be somebody who could help you influence or who could influence you to pick the right car for you because he knows you. Right. And you trust him, most importantly. Not because that is the most important part here. Right. Because you respect that guy's opinion and you trust the decision that he's taking on your behalf. Right? So a champion is that person in your customer base. He could be anybody, but he should be somebody as a good sales guy. When I say that, hey, this guy is my champion, he's somebody who can influence the economic buyer, influence the decision criteria and the process. I'm saying influence. I'm not saying he can change it. It is going to be what it is, right? But he should be able to influence it in my favor. Correct, right? And that is the whole point of working with the champion or getting the right champion in your sales process, right? So if you look into MEDIC as an acronym, it starts for metric, economic buyer, decision criteria, decision process, identify pain, and the right candidate. Okay?